Yo, what's up? It's your boy Skylar Game Time Diddy Verts, and we're back with another episode of the Weekend Moneymakers podcast, man. We got this week. We're gonna talk about UFC Baku. It's an early start time. If you've been following the pod, bro, you know that them early UFC cards we've been absolutely killing, and I'm looking to continue this week with this Baku card. And honestly, it's a pretty decent card for being a fight night and being like an overseas early morning card. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm gonna run through this card right here. I'm gonna give you all some quick breakdowns of each fight, starting in the prelims. I'm gonna give you a full fight card breakdown, and give you my favorites and a couple plays that I like, a couple things that I could see happening in each fight. So let's get it started, man. First off, we got Amakan versus Jin Matsumoto or Matsumoto. In this fight, man, you got Amakan who has more power, but he's pretty chinny. But then on the other side, you got Matsumoto who's a better striker. He's nasty on the ground. And I'm not really going to elaborate too much on this fight. I'm more leaning towards Matsumoto by decision. I don't think he gets Amakan out of there. I think he just kind of spam grapples a little bit. Doesn't really want to face the power of Amakan. So I could see him really just grappling himself to a decision, maybe split if he doesn't land as many punches as he thinks he's gonna. So yeah, let's go with Matsumoto decision right off rip. Then on to the next card or next fight of the night, we got Donchenko versus Berggren. This is Berggren's debut. Donchenko's really been on a tear. He was expected to really get Alex Moreno out of there early in his last fight, and Moreno survived like a warrior. And he couldn't get it done inside of the distance, but he did take it to a decision. But I don't see that repeating itself. I see Donchenko going in here and really putting some hands on this dude. But Berggren, he is good on his feet. He's a nasty kickboxer, but his takedown defense is just terrible. Everybody just keeps talking about Donchenko's hands, and he does have nasty hands, bro, really does. But I don't think he wants to get in a firefight with Berggren here when it's easier for him to just take him to the ground and sub him and get him out of there pretty relatively quick. But I think that takes time to develop in this fight. Donchenko, I think he's going to try to stand and bang with him in the first round and then see that he's a little bit closer in comparison in that first round. And then he's going to be like, okay, I need to get this guy out of here. So come round 2 or 3, he's going to get in there, get in on him, get the sub, get out of there. And with the sub being at 7-1 odds, 7.5 to 1 odds on certain books, I really like that play. Even if it is that he hurts him on the feet. What if, club and sub happens? He jumps in on him and gets it done. So I'm going to take Donchenko by sub, man. He is on a 6-fight win streak, and he's never been finished. So I continue to see him going and moving forward here. Move on to the third fight. We got Ofli versus Reyes. Ofli, he has a nasty ground game. He has a decent chin, and he is a sub guy. Like, he will get you to the ground and try to get you out of there. Where you got Reyes, on the other hand, who is a nasty striker. But what stands out to me in this fight is Reyes has a 7-inch reach advantage, dude. But the thing about Reyes is he's going to go forward. And that's not always the best case unless you're really dropping people and getting them out of there. And a guy like Ofli, I could see him maybe getting him. But at the same time, I could see Ofli pulling off the upset in this fight and getting a sub on him. Reyes overextends, doesn't use his range and stay outside on the outside, striking like he should. And Ofli gets inside and maybe gets him to the ground and subs him too. So I like the Ofli sub. Even though that Reyes is at a 7-inch reach advantage, which usually, if you listen to a lot of my pods, I talk about how, reach advantage plays a huge deal. But when you got a guy who's not as experienced like Reyes, it could come back to hurt him. Sorry about the glare if it's bothering anybody. I know it's getting to me a little bit. Um, let's see if I can turn it out of the camera view. Nah, it's sticking around. Deal with it. So I got Ofli in that fight, man. It's one of them fights where you could go either way, though. The line's close enough that you could pick both sides, but I like the underdog play here. Now, we'll move on to Ruzaboyev versus Pelayev. Ruzaboyev has 20 subs, bro. 20 submission wins on his record, 13 knockout wins. He has one-shot power. He's dangerous all around. Like, he could get it done everywhere. He has fought a lot of cans, like guys that aren't the greatest. And then you got Pelayev on the other end, who, like, going into fights like his last fight with Gutierrez, everybody thought he's going to get dogged and get out of there. But he showed some, like, unexpected power. And he showed that he was chinny. Like, he was taking Gutierrez's hits. Everybody's been on Gutierrez heavy about just how he's just so dominant. But Pelayev, I think, opened up a lot of eyes, man, when it comes to, like, seeing that he is a little bit more durable than people thought he would be. So, oh, man. Pelayev decision is a crazy line. Like, if you're a degen like me and want to go a little bit crazy with that fight, let me get y'all the official line for it. I want to say last time I looked, it was like 7-1. Pelayev is 190 on the underdog. Him by points is plus 500. So 5-1 odds. I do like that. But on the other side, you got Ruzaboyev, who you could get by, I mean, for a guy who has 20 subs, being 9-1 on the submission line makes no sense to me. Like, that just seems like he could get that at any point, and why is it 9-1? You know what I mean? It seems so obvious that it's sitting so far off. It just doesn't correlate. The math ain't mathing in my head. So I might have to sprinkle a little bit on Ruzaboyev sub, man. I just can't see how you don't sprinkle a little on a guy who has 20 subs already. So yeah, give me Ruzaboyev. And if it is Pelayev, I think it'll be decision. Like, I don't see him getting Ruzaboyev out of there. So whatever way you are on this fight, whoever side you have, I go Pelayev points, Ruzaboyev sub. But he also got nice hands too, but I could see him clubbing him and then subbing him. Like, there's a lot of submissions I could see happening on this card. We'll move on to the next one, where we got Walker versus, I might butcher this one, Yakayev. There's a lot of EVs, OVs. You know, if you know UFC, you know EV, OV is OD. You know what I mean? So, and I think that continues with this fight here. You got a minus 5-1 favorite in Yakayev against Juicebox Walker, who's 4-1 for the upset. He is a nice athlete. Like, he does have athletic ability. He's nasty. He's usually nasty in the first round, and he has fought better comp than Yakayev. But Yakayev, he's better on the feet, and he's better on the ground. Like, he's an all-around better prospect. I feel like, and this dude's a monster. Like, he's been getting people out of there. He's had dominant wins. But at the same time, he hasn't fought nearly the caliber that Walker has. So I think the Walker play, if you really wanted to go with Walker here, I do like Walker points, where you could mix it with something I talk about later. And maybe, just maybe, you could get a crazy parlay to smack. I do have a couple crazy ones that we're looking to hit. I'm looking for the bounce back this week. If you know me personally, you know I've been through a rough week already. And I'm looking for tomorrow's morning to change the tide. You know what I mean? And I'm really believing that it will. And I've had, as much as I had a rough week, I've had some plays come through for me. Not plays in the sports betting area, but plays in real life, just things that I can't be more thankful for. And as unlucky as I have been this week, life's prevailed. You know what I mean? And it's came back to hand me just as much good as it's handed me bad. And I can't be more thankful. I'm not gonna sit down on it. I'm just gonna keep it rocking like I always do. Roll with the punches. That's what we do around here. Um, so Walker points or, I mean, Yakayev could do it any way he wants. He could sub him. He could knock him out. But I'm leaning more towards the knockout play if you're going to play Yakayev's side. Uh, Being a minus 550 when you. Well, I really like the sub. I do like the sub at plus 125. I could see that definitely happening. But at plus 200, a little bit beefier odds for him to knock Walker out. I could also see that happening as well. So I'm going to lean Yakayev here. And then we'll move on to the next one where we got Hasnov versus Nolan. I think this is the trickiest one on the prelim for me to pick. Hasnov is 5-0. This is his UFC debut, and he hasn't really fought anybody. But if you do know, he did take a amateur fight when in between his pro fights where he is 5-0 in pro rankings. But in his amateur fight, he did get knocked out by a no-name. So it's not like he's invincible. Where everybody else is kind of heavy on him being invincible. Where you got a guy like Nolan who has already fought in the UFC and has fought some decent competition. Where you got a guy like Hasnov who hasn't fought anybody in the UFC yet and has lost to an amateur. So it's like, I'm kind of on the fence here, and I think I'm leaning Nolan, man. Now, Hasnov, he's not a good wrestler. He's bad at range control. And he's, what did I write here? He's just unimpressive. That's it. And that's what I wrote. He's unimpressive. He doesn't really impress me in anything I've seen of him or heard about him. So, where you got a guy like Nolan he's got good striking. He has good power. And he doesn't really have to worry about the takedown threat here or the ground game, which is surprising going against an OV. You usually know OVs, anybody that ends with OV in the UFC, usually a good wrestler. That's not the case here, so don't get tricked by it. So I do like Nolan here. And those are my picks for the prelims. I will give you a couple prelim plays that I put in before we get into the main card. I got Ofli by points, Yakayev by sub, and Nolan by points. Nolan by points is 6-1, man. That would be insane if he just went out here and outpointed this new guy. That's 66-1 odds. That 3-leg right there, 66-1. Another one that I do have for the prelims. Matsumoto by points, Reyes by KO, and Ruzabayev by points. That one right there, 23-1 odds, man. I put 5 on it, brings back 120. I do like that one. I think that's one of my more confident prelim plays right there. So let's move on to the main card. I gave y'all 2 nice plays right there that y'all could maybe make some good money on. I do have some prelim main card mixes that I will give y'all at the end of the video. But let's get into the main card of the evening. Not even the evening. Main card starts at noon. We out of there by 4, and we gonna be up money, bro. How can you be more mad at starting your Saturday up bread by lunchtime? You know what I mean? Because we gonna hit on the prelims. We gonna hit on the prelims. Get in on this. Get in on this. First fight of the main card, we got a Magnomedov versus Mikhail Olajic. And if you know about Olajic, man's been on a tear here recently. He didn't get Barriot out of there, but Barriot, man, he's got heart. Dude is a warrior. He was getting cracked. I mean, Olajic was doing everything he could to try to get him out of there, but he couldn't get it done, but he still did win by split decision. So he still dominated the fight the way he was supposed to. On the Magomedov side, he does have a 6-inch reach advantage, but the thing about him, like, he is a good fighter. Don't get me wrong, but he's only good for the first round. He doesn't have any heart, bro. Like, this dude gives up the later in the fight that it goes. Like, he's so impressive in the first round, which is so saddening. That if he could keep that same energy for 3 rounds, there'd be a lot of people that would have a hard time trying to beat this guy. But after the first round, it's like if he doesn't get you out in the first, he's ready to just throw the towel and give up after that. And that's not going to work against a guy like Olajic, who's going to put hands on you the whole fight. So even if you do get him down in the first, he's going to put hands on you in the second and third. And I don't see him getting Magomedov out of there in the first round. So the play I like here is Olajic 2-3 knockout, bro. 2-3 knockout is a good play. And you get plus 420 odds, 4.2 to 1 odds. So I'll take that every day. Now let's move on to the next one where we got Alaskarov versus Ferreira. Now this one I'm torn on. The more that I've looked into this, the more that I've seen this fight, the more that I'm leaning dog money, bro. Like, and Alaskarov is a big favorite, dude. And that's what worries me. Last week we had a big favorite that blew it for us. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of them really ruins parlays this week too. Alaskarov is a minus 295 favorite, where you got Ferreira as a plus 240 underdog. And Ferreira's fought better people. He did beat RoboCop the first time they fought, and then he got knocked out in a one punch. He got one hitter quittered in the second fight. But I don't think that really speaks to the type of fighter Ferreira is, man. He's subbed guys he's not supposed to sub. He's beat guys by points that he's not supposed to beat. And this dude here, Alaskarov is a Muay Thai champ. He does have crazy power. I do think he's a more complete fighter. Where in Ferreira, he doesn't have the best chin, but he does have crazy power punching, and he does pull off some crazy subs when he's not expected to. So what I was talking about earlier, if y'all want to take a little play that could win y'all money on underdogs that is pretty decent, you could take Ferreira and Julius Walker if you're looking for the Julius Walker side of things. And you could put them together, and you're going to get 16 to 1 odds with just those two on the money line. If you wanted to get a little bit more freaky with it, with that side of things, you could do Walker KO, and you could do Bruno. You could really go any route you want with the Bruno side if you're going to be on the underdog. Let me see here. Bruno methods. Bruno by KO plus 550. Bruno by sub. That's the way I would go for the sneaky. So Julius Walker KO and Ferreira sub is 84 to 1 odds, bro. Every dollar you put on it, you win $84. So if you put 2, you're at like 168. If you put 3, I mean, dude, it's a no-brainer. Sprinkle a little $3 scratch off on it, and if it hits, you're happy. If it doesn't, you're like, fuck it. You know what I mean? So I do like that one. I'm gonna save that for later to send to the bros. And then we got the third fight of the night, man. Got Almabayev versus Charles Johnson. A lot of people are in on Johnson, man, and I'm not. I'm not feeling Johnson. Like, he loses fights he's not supposed to lose, and in fights where he's controlled and put against the cage, he loses those type of fights. He does have some decent takedown defense, but when you're going against somebody like Almabayev, who's really gonna smother you, he's got really good grappling. Like, it's next level grappling. And he's a decent striker at that. It's not like grappling is the only thing he can do. He can still get it off in the hands. He's not a blow by, you know what I mean? So I'm leaning on Almabayev heavy here. I do like Almabayev to sub Johnson or beat him by points. Um, so let's move on to the fourth fight of the main card. We're getting closer to the end where I can give you all the real money plays that I got. We got Sadakov versus Camilo. Sadakov is decent, bro. He's supposed to be made out to be this knockout, rangy fighter who's just gonna put it on everybody. And I haven't like. There's this weird thing with him where he fights better overseas, and this is overseas, so that does lean in his advantage. But when he's in the States, it seems like when he has to go through the actual regulation drug tests and stuff like that, he's not the same fighter, bro. And you got Camilo. He's 7 years younger. He's a good grappler. He has a better control, and I think he's faster than Sadakov. Like I think his hands are faster. I think he could really come out here and impress. And you're getting him at plus money on the underdog shot. But what I do like that you could play, Camilo by sub is plus 1,500. He could definitely get this dude to the ground, Sadakov to the ground, and sub him. He could. He really could. And that kind of leads into a play that I got for y'all in a little bit, that if that thing smacks, y'all will be coming back. But yeah, I'm leading Camilo here. I'm gonna take a shot on a dog here. So let's move on to the co-main event where we got my boy Shara Bullet finally back in the UFC ring. You know, if you know Shara, you know he only got one eye. Bro's a pirate. He's the pirate. He got the red beard just like your boy. And he's fighting Pereira, who is really on the backside of his career, man. Like, he doesn't look like the same person he was anymore. He's a lot slower when it comes to his striking. He's a decent grappler. But that's the thing, he could be the better grappler in a fight, and he won't lean on his strengths, which makes no sense to me at all. But he has a like reoccurring thing that he does where he just doesn't lean on it. Like, he doesn't go towards what he needs to do to actually get guys out of there. He wants to bang. But when you get in a firefight with a pirate, he taking your ship. And I think that's what's going to happen here, bruh. He's the captain now. So give me Shara Bullet knockout, man. But there is a chance he doesn't get him out of there. And if he doesn't get him out of there, Shara points is always available. You got plus 125 for KO and plus 175 for points. It goes either way with Shara. And that's better than playing the minus 355 money line. So give me Shara knockout. Now let's get into the final fight of the night. We got Rafael Fiziev versus Manuel Torres. Fiziev has let me down so bad as of late. He's 1-5 in his last 5 fights. He's been knocked out 3 times in the last 5 fights. This dude has been having a hell of a time because the simple fact that this dude loves to go to war. He is a good striker. He does have decent grappling. Wow. He does have decent grappling. But he loves a war. Like, he wants to go out there and put it on his shield. But his shield is built out of styrofoam as of late. And people have been punching right through it. And I don't think that stops here. Torres is the better grappler. He's better at range. And he's just dangerous all around. And I do think that plays a part here with somebody like Fiziev, who's taken so much damage here recently. I'd say he has fought the better fighters. Fiziev has. He went to war with Gaethje twice. And got beat both times. The one time he did take Gaethje to decision, which is commendable. Seeing how Gaethje just did that last stuff. But if you know me, you know I've been riding on the conspiracy. Bro had rocks in his gloves, but that's beside the point. And I honestly think Torres makes it look easy here against Fiziev. I don't think it's early. I do think it'll be like round 2, 3, 4, you know what I mean, combo-wise. And I think you can get a decent price on the 2, 3, 4 combo. Let me look it up for you guys real quick. Method and round combo. TKO round combos. Here we go. If you want to go Torres 234, you're at plus 440. I love that line, bro. I love that line. I don't see him getting Fiziev out of there in the first. I think they will go to war in the first, and somebody will be hurt. And then come 234, Torres gonna put it to bed. If Fiziev finds a way to survive, because he does like to go to war. Like I keep saying, bro, loves a battle. He loves a tough one. He loves to be an edgy. But that hasn't worked out for him here as of late, and I don't think it starts here. I think this is Manuel Torres' next step to ascending towards the top and getting better top 15 fights and cruising towards a contender shot. So give me Torres. Now, let's get into y'all's favorite part. Y'all don't want to hear me yip yapping, jib jabbing, all that. But you need to. Listen to your boy. I'm speaking facts, and I am, even though I'm leaning one way heavy, I'm still giving y'all reasons that it could go the other way. So don't think I'm dead set on one way. You know what I mean? In certain fights, I will be dead set on one way, like this Torres Fiziev fight. I'm leaning Torres heavy. But let's get into what y'all are here for, the plays. Let me pull them up so I can give them to y'all. All right. So we got Donchenko to win by submission in round 2 or 3 at plus 1,600. Michael Olajic to win by KO in round 2 or 3 plus 420. And Shara Bullet to win by KO in round 2 or 3 plus 320. If you put all of those together, you are looking at 370 to 1 odds, buddy. Bro, this is the scratcher of all scratchers. This is it right here. If this hits, y'all will be coming back and listening again. I have another play just like this to give y'all in just a minute. But I put $2.50 on it to win $928. Y'all got $2.50 to spare? Put it there. Let's move on to another play I got for y'all. We got Amabayev by sub, Shara Bullet by KO, and Torres by KO. This is a little lighter play. You got 27 to 1 odds here. $5 wins you 140. I love this play. I think it is my most confident pick of the whole event, and this is where I put most of my money at. Now, let me give you, I know there's some people in here that know how I get down with the money lines. It does get nasty. And I'm going to give y'all my money line play. 6 legs, 22 to 1 odds. I got Olajic on the money line. Alaskarov on the money line. Almabayev on the money line. Camilo on the money line. Shara Bullet on the money line. And Torres on the money line. I put $6 on this to win $156. I love this play. If y'all listen to any of this pod, you know that these are all my favorite picks from the main card. If I'm right, the way I think I am with this main card, this is a hitter. For money lines, this is my most confident play. Now, let's give y'all another one of those that if you have money to spare, you might as well put it there. We got Donchenko by sub by itself. No rounds, just by sub at plus 850. And then we got Camilo by sub. You know I mentioned it when I was talking about it in prelims. Plus 1,500. You put those two together, 151 to 1 odds. I put $3 on it to win $500. If you got $5, split it into those two bets, you fucks. You know what I mean? But let's move on to a couple more that I got for y'all. I got well, I already gave you that one. It's the prelim play. Now this one, it gets a little bit different because I do want to cover my bases. We got G Matsumoto, Con Ofuli, Hazanov, Olajic, Amabayev, Sadikov, Sharabulit, and Fiziev. Now, I'm going to put a couple renditions more in that I haven't yet, just to cover all my little possibilities that I think could happen when it comes to this main card. Like that last one I just gave you, I would switch it. Fiziev for Torres. Just to cover my bases on if all them other ones are right, it switches. I would also do one with Eric Nolan instead of Hazanov and Torres instead of Fiziev. Now, the fourth rendition I would do of this same bet, I would do Nolan instead of Hazanov, keep Fiziev, Camilo instead of Sadikov. But also, you could do keep Sadikov there, keep Fiziev there, and just change Hazanov to Nolan. Now, if you're different on the Offley fight, switch Reyes and Offley. These are all possibilities that could definitely happen, and I wouldn't put it past the way things work in the UFC for these different renditions to still be hitter tickets. So I will be playing those and all those different possibilities and still trying to bring home the bacon, you know what I mean? And the odds on the first one I gave you, they are 60-1 odds. So it is an 8-leg. It is a little bit steeper. But I don't see why not. And I'm going to give you one final play. It's going to be my all underdogs play. And it's going to be a little bit more smart than wild. Where I got Camilo. Which some of these have changed. Like the lines have changed since I started looking at them. Like Torres came in as plus money. Olajic came in as plus money, but now people are putting money on that side, and now it's evened out more to pick'ems. So I'm still going to include them. Olajic, Camilo, Torres, and then since I don't have any Pelayev plays yet, we're going to go Pelayev, and then my last one's going to be Eric Nolan. That's 71-1 odds. You can drop one leg off that and be just fine. So my leg I would drop, just because I have a lot of bets with him already on him. I would drop Camilo off there, and it'd be 25-1 odds. So put 5 on it, 125 right in your pocket. And then, yeah, those are the plays for this weekend's card, man. I think I'm setting us up for greatness this week. So listen to the pod, follow the plays. I got some sprinkled in there, so if you're really listening, you're going to have them plays, and you're going to be thankful. If you're skipping to the end, why you doing that? Why you doing that? Give your boy all the plays. Listen to what I got to say. I'm just kidding. Either way you do it, I hope we all win. I hope we're all in on the bread. I hope we just come out on top. Another early morning card. And the last 2 cards that we've been early morning plays, your boy has been up big. And it looks to continue here. So that's all I got for y'all. Good luck to everybody. And this has been your boy, Skylar Game Time Diddy Verts. And this has been the Weekend Moneymakers Podcast. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your grandmama. They all love me, you know it. All right, peace.